Hi, everyone. Welcome to The Link. Why do I feel like I haven't been here in a while?
You probably haven't, and you look so super short. Can we bring your camera down just a little bit? Or bring you up just a little bit?
Look.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
I'm 5 3/4. I accept my height. Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Link. My name is Kai Smith. I'm program coordinator for Healthy Him and our CDC-funded youth programs. And who am I sitting with?
What's going on, everybody? It is your favorite prevention training specialist here over at Swab and Chill. I'm your boy, Daniel J. Ready to get into today's topic and, of course, all of the good gossip that's been happening.
Okay, hello everybody. Hello, you may have seen me once before, but if you haven't, welcome back. It's me, Dwayne Savid, the prevention training specialist with the social and sexual networks here at APLA Health.
Hey, I'm so excited. So, as Dwayne said, you might have recognized him. You're going to be seeing a lot more of him very, very soon. But if you don't know, The Link is a collaboration between APLA Health, Pyro Media, and the CDC, because they give us the money so we can bring you all these wonderful shows. And Pyro makes all these wonderful graphics and just makes us look great. Because let's be honest, I can barely work PowerPoint. But today's show, I'm super, super excited about today's show. One of the things that we like to do here at APLA is let everyone know about the dozens and many services that we have here at APLA. So obviously that means we're going to bring in different programs. So today we definitely have a different program that we're bringing in. But before we get to that, what's popping? What's happening in the world? What's everyone doing?
Well, there's a lot happening in entertainment news right now. So one of the big things that hit over the weekend this past week was the death of Keisha Cole's mother, Frankie. Now, Frankie became a really huge hit during Keisha Cole's reality series. A lot of people fell in love with her, but as we know, she did struggle most of her life with substance use. And unfortunately, she passed from an overdose on her birthday. So, that's a lot. I can only imagine what Keisha and her family, her kid, like what everybody is dealing. And of course, just the community, period. Like her, because Frankie had fans.
And people in the community knew Frankie.
Fans and some quotable moments on that show. But so that's been going on. And of course, we lost rap legend, hip hop legend, Biz Markie through complications of diabetes. That happened. That was confirmed on Friday. Now, the gag on that is there was an article previously, like a couple of weeks ago, saying that he had gone, and people were like, "No, that's a hoax. He's still alive. This, that, and other." And literally, like 2 weeks later, the family confirms that he was gone. So I think that was more so of media kind of jumping in, getting the story, running with it without all the facts. But he obviously was in the hospital for some time, again, dealing with some complications due to diabetes that he's had for quite some time. So again, our condolences to those families, to those loved ones, and to the fans, because especially for Biz, I know that that's a culture.
Biz, when that hit, culture. I remember seeing, when I saw that, it was like one of those things. It's someone that you don't think about, but then you don't realize that one day they might not be here. And Biz Markie, you can't listen to an old hip hop song beatboxing, right? We know Biz for his beatboxing. So anyone who's doing anything with beatbox, if they don't know Biz or haven't referenced it,
you're a fraud.
You don't know hip hop.
You're a fraud.
But yeah, so that's definitely something that we've been seeing. Another thing that we've seen, something I saw today, which I think is a really, really huge step for the transgender community, something that I hope everyone who is celebrating, is we have our first transgender Sports Illustrated cover girl, and she is beautiful. Gorgeous. So, and I'm last name Bloom, and of course I'm forgetting the first name. Lena Bloom right now is a beautiful Black and Filipina woman who is now on the cover of Sports Illustrated as a transgender woman. And this is huge, right? Sports Illustrated is a straight heterosexual male magazine. And the bikini the bikini issue is huge, right? This is what straight men look forward to. This is like their closest to getting Playboy without actually getting Playboy. Right. So having someone on the cover who is openly trans, Black, beautiful, Asian, and just living her truth, I think is a huge step in media. So what do you two think on this?
Dwayne, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I loved it. She was out there. She had
that white baby suit.
She was out there. She said,
I can't with the poses. I can't.
And I was here for it. I was like, all right, okay. I didn't, honestly, like, I did not even know she was trans until I read the titles. And I was like, oh, I was like, who is she? Why is she here? And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm glad we're breaking through barriers and things of the LGBTQIA nature, because it's about time.
Right? And it's the year for trans women to be recognized and celebrated.
And I think to your point, Dwayne, when you said I didn't even know, I think that's the point. And I think that's part of the power of this movement and of us seeing more representation within the trans community, having, these moments, because it's not about whether or not you can tell. And I think that that's something that we really got to get away from, this whole, clockability.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I want to quote from Miss Bloom, she said, I dedicate this cover to all ballroom femme queens past, present, and future. Many girls like us don't have the chance to live our dreams or to live long at all. I hope my cover empowers those who are struggling to be seen, feel, and valued. So
Yes.
I think those are powerful words from a powerful moment. And she looks absolutely gorgeous. And I'm just
Beautiful.
so happy that she's part of the Curly Squad.
Right?
Yes!
The hair.
She's
The white
gorgeous.
bathing suit. So as Daniel said, it's a huge victory. It's a huge win. And also, it does bring up that conversation too of, not every trans person needs to be unclockable either. That doesn't make you a one thing or another. Obviously I can't speak too much on the trans experience, but we do have a wonderful Trans Connections program here. And if you are a trans identified person and you need a support or you need some services, reach out to us, because guess what? Our program is amazing. You've got Rogelio, you have got Mallory, you've got Skylar, you've got Melissa. Someone here is going to be able to help you. So what else? What's going on in your world, Dwayne, for pop culture that you just have to talk about today?
Well, I'm a dancer. And so my girl Normani popped out with a Wild Side. What was that? Sunday, Saturday?
Friday, the weekend.
Over this weekend, anyway. And baby, did she deliver or what? Like, she had all types of dancing. She had a sample of Aaliyah, and slight subtle hints in there of like her memory in there as well, as far as like the dancing and the wardrobe is concerned. But it was still abstract and it was still very much her. Like, I'm just, kudos to you, Normani. Like, keep it up, baby. Give us an album. I'm ready.
For me, I think what makes me so excited about that is also I have background in dance. I think all three of us have some type of background in dance. But for me, what was so exciting is the choreographer, Sean Bankhead, really getting the recognition that he deserves. If you watch Lil Nas X's performance, Sean Bankhead. If you love this Normani choreo and the last choreo, that's him. And I think, and Dwayne and I both know, here in the dance community, dancers are not given the respect they deserve as artists or as creatives. And oftentimes you're asked to do things for free. Mm-hmm. And so I hope anyone out there, credit or exposure. So,
oh my God.
Because I can't pay bills with exposure.
Right?
Okay?
And so you might think why are you all talking about that? Think about who usually are these dancers, who they are. They tend to be people of color. We are trying to live our fantasies as artists. And the only thing we're getting paid is an exposure. We can't do that. But then we have white artists oftentimes, making that money from recreating other things. So yeah,
and it's funny because even in that community, when we think about choreographers and people who create these movements, literally the movements that we see in videos on stage and whatnot, I don't really I'm 36. In 36 years of my living, I don't really recall there being choreographers whose names were on the lips of people. I know Fatima was huge back in the Aaliyah days because she was, doing all of Aaliyah's stuff.
We had Brian Freeman for Britney.
Right, and then we had Wade. What's his name?
Wade Robson.
Robson. But we don't really get to give the flowers to those who are creating what it is, these visuals that we see, and it's a lot of work. I mean, I used to work. I know I'm fat now, but I didn't always used to be. And when I was creating it's hard work. Okay, you put your body to work, especially when you are dealing with an ensemble of dancers. So let's give our dancers the coin that they deserve.
Let's give artists
that they deserve.
Yes, Black queer artists, are just, they're it. They're the movement. And POC too, not just Black. POC queer artists really are it. They're the wave, they're the move. Nothing that we see in pop culture doesn't pass through a POC's hand. And usually they are queer. And if they're not, they're surrounded by queer people. So, all of the people out there, if you are a young queer artist and you are just feeling dang, I can't get paid for exposure anymore, then say no. If when you go to thing and they ask you like, oh, can we pay you an exposure? Say no. Know your worth. Me as I quit dancing, but that's okay.
Because I always ask, well, can you? Are you getting paid in exposure? Because if not, then I can't.
Yeah.
If you're getting paid in exposure, I'll think about it. But if you're not getting paid in exposure, the answer is no.
Right. Great. So then we have, I guess, we have a little bit more time. So we have to address the elephant in the room, the mask in California, the Delta, if you will.
And we're not talking airlines.
We're not talking,
okay?
not this time. So if if you're in California, especially, you're hearing things about COVID again. We are seeing a rise in COVID, especially with this new variation of it called the Delta variant. Just to give you a little bit more information, what makes the Delta variant more dangerous is it's so much more, what's the word I'm looking for? Infectious. And then once you are infected, you tend to have more of the virus in there. And so I know a lot of people are thinking like, oh, it's probably only dangerous for older people. That's not the case. This time around, what makes this one so dangerous is that it actually even gets children sick. Before we always thought, kids can't catch COVID unless they have super high amounts of the virus in their blood. With the new Delta variant, that's what happens. So if you are not vaccinated, please get vaccinated.
And let's just some quick facts about the Delta variant. Number one, it's definitely stronger than the first strain of COVID that was taking people out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Another fact that we need to really address, which is super, super duper important, 20% of deaths that are happening with the Delta variant, 90% of those deaths are people between the ages of 18 and 25.
And none of them are vaccinated.
So
say it again, Daniel.
Again,
I don't think
20% of the deaths that are happening from the Delta variant, of that 20%, 90% of them are within the ages of between 18 and 25. It is definitely attacking people who are not vaccinated. Obviously, we have the conspiracy theorists that say, this was all planned. They're doing this as a way to get people vaccinated and have this computer chip in their body. But at the end of the day, death is not something that you can play with, and there are so many things with us working here at APLA Health, dealing with, the HIV numbers and that, epidemic. This other thing to hit our young population, it's disheartening.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really disheartening. And a lot of it is because of lack of information, fear. We definitely understand the historical trauma, but we do encourage you, please, if you can get vaccinated, get vaccinated. Now, if you don't want to get vaccinated, just continue to do the things to keep yourself safe. Wear your mask, sanitize, keep that social distance. I know that businesses are open, but that don't mean you got to be at the club with 200 people and everybody don't have a mask on. That's just not. It's just not smart.
But if you want to do it, hey, we're not judging. Do it at your own risk.
Yeah,
but it's not just your risk; it's the risk of other people.
So I think that's ultimately the real kind of danger of it all. Is with COVID is like people are saying, "Well, I don't care if I catch it. I want to." Some people are even saying, "I'd rather catch it now just to get it over with." But they don't realize that you might catch it and be okay, but someone else might catch it from you and they won't be okay.
That part.
And right. I know for me personally, I hate if I inconvenience someone's day even slightly. I couldn't imagine giving someone like COVID and them having to go to the hospital. So for me, there's a lot of internal things. So I will be staying at home even longer now. I wasn't really going out anyway. But yeah, so if you are out there right now and you are hearing things about the Delta variant, this is the facts. It's more contagious. It hurts you or doesn't hurt you. If you get symptoms, the symptoms tend to be more severe. Younger people are catching it. The way to help prevent that, wear your mask inside. California, all public businesses now, you got to wear that mask inside. And also get vaccinated. Just get vaccinated. If you don't know where to go for getting vaccinated, reach out to us. I promise you, we'll help you. We can find it for you easy.
Sure can.
But with that, I think we're coming to an end to what's popping. Is there anything big, important that has happened that you're like, ooh?
There is one thing that I have to bring up because it's quite huge on social media right now, and it's affecting actually me personally. Oh. So for those of you who love TikTok, there is this huge movement happening on TikTok in regards to POC creators going on strike, not creating content, but also because it seems to be that the algorithm and TikTok as a company has made it to where people can report your content and basically get your page shut down, and you don't have any tools to defend yourself. I say it hits me personally because my page in the last probably month and a half has been banned and suspended over like 7 times. People have reported my videos under false pretenses. They reported a video for hate speech. They reported a video that said it had sexual activity and nudity. And of course, there was no sexual activity or nudity. I was actually talking about bottom safety with educational language. And so a lot of Black and Brown and other POC, BIPOC individuals, and specifically BIPOC LGBTQIA folks are noticing that a lot of the bans, a lot of the censorship is happening to those two communities, Black creators and Black LGBTQIA creators. So there is a lot of talk happening on whether or not people need to move to another platform. And if I believe there is a petition kind of in the works to address TikTok, because there's no way for us to contact TikTok. Like there's no number, there's no email, there's no nothing. So it's a huge deal for a lot of creators, because what people don't understand is content creation can lead to money. Like people do create content as a job. Like this is their career. You know, brand ambassadorships, sponsorships, like they promote businesses, they promote products, and they get paid to do that. So if you have spent your time building up a following in order to get these sponsorships and get these brands to buy into your page, and then people are just hating on you and trying to shut you down, it can be disheartening, especially when there are other pages on there that have lots of racial slurish.
I've seen nudity on TikTok all the time.
On there. But yet those pages are still up and running. But of course, those are the YT folks that tend to stay up.
But we did already know that TikTok gave us their views on what they feel is appropriate and what is not appropriate, aka the blocking of the Black Lives Matter hashtag on TikTok around this time last year, actually. And then on top of that, now they are blocking content from, you know, Black and Brown and just BIPOC creators, you know, LGBTQIA curators such as Daniel. And it's just, I'm not a TikToker. I got on there for the sake of my career because, like Daniel said, like creating content can lead to money. And on top of dance, like that is what I do. However, it's just, the proof is in the pudding, and TikTok has continuously showed us that they are not for us. So why are we still there?
So all those content creators out there going on strike, I do want to say I've seen kind of what's been happening, like the things that are coming out. I'm like, ooh, it's getting a little boring on here. So once again, as I said earlier, as I said earlier, like, you know, Black and Brown POC creators, they really are it. They're the wave. But with that is going to end our What's Popping topic for today. Now let's get into why we're here, right? Woo! We get to introduce main topic. So today we're bringing on a special guest. His name is Bill Lee with our community board team, and he's going to talk about a couple things. So first, everyone welcome Bill.
Bill!
Hi, Bill.
Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Great. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for being on. So Bill, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell everyone who you are first.
All right. So hello, everyone. My name is Bill, last name Lee. Some people call me Billy. Pronouns are he, him, his. Also he, she, and they. And I work for APLA Health. Surprise! Woo woo! Yeah. And at APLA Health, I work for PrEPTalk as a PrEP education specialist. And PrEPTalk is a research study funded by the National Institute of Mental Health.
Great. So before we get into PrEPTalk, because there's a lot into there, because we definitely want to hit on to that. Can you tell us first kind of what is the community-based research team? Like, what do they do? What is the purpose of that? Because some people don't know that we have this.
Yes, of course. So the community-based research team at APLA Health conducts research designed to improve the lives of people and communities affected by HIV and AIDS. And it also serves as a resource for other organizations conducting community-based research.
Okay, cool. So if someone were to come into, your office or reach out to you, what's kind of the process to be in the community-based research kind of group, if you will?
Definitely. So it's an easy process. All you can do is just text us or call us on any of our study phone numbers that I'll be providing. And we'll just walk you through to see if you're eligible for our study and simply do a screener if you are interested in participating in one of our studies. And we have two.
Great. And I think we actually have those flyers. If we can pull those up really quick.
Woo woo!
Come on, flyers. We love flyers.
Okay.
Shout out to Kwame and Pyro
I know,
Media for
Pyro
these
Media.
transitions. They're amazing. I love it.
Wow.
And
Awesome.
so short notice too. You guys don't understand. Pyro probably hates me because I'm so last minute with all of this stuff too. So great. So that was one of our flyers, or one of the flyers that was there. So I guess the next kind of big question that a lot of people want to know is, why is it important to even have something like this?
Definitely. So we all have different kinds of research. There's clinical-based research, and so with clinical trials, sorry, with community-based research, it kind of provides more input from the community and has buy-in input from the community. So when we start in a community-based research project to help HIV/AIDS populations, we want to get their input and we want to get their voice, and also to see how this will actually help them. So kind of getting information and buy-in from the community to make sure that we are actually doing the correct things that they want us to help with. And also, how are we supposed to help someone without talking to them actually? So being in community-based research is important to me because we involve the community, and it's not just looking at a community and seeing, oh, let's help them in this way, but not actually talking to the community and getting them involved.
I have a question for you, Bill, because we've
Yes.
talked about studies and research studies here on the show before, and one of the things that we kind of always have to address and talk about is the trauma that comes specifically to communities of color when it comes to research and studies and kind of trusting, these researchers, not to kill us.
Yes.
So, how do
Yes.
being in the field doing this? It's a two-part question. Number one is, how do some of these studies come about? Like, how do they even, say like, oh, this is what we need to be studying? And then number two, how do you address a community that may be quite apprehensive to participate in?
Definitely. Lots of loaded questions there. I'll try to answer in
I
bits and
know.
pieces.
More questions could be thick and
But
juicy. I'm sorry.
it is an honest question, and I totally can honestly answer it because you do want to recognize the history that Black people and people of color have gone through with research studies, and like the Tuskegee study. And so being aware of that, and also the stigma that comes with research study, is important, and is definitely a factor, and also hesitancy to go on to Western medicine to also participate in research studies. And so I definitely understand and also know the history behind the discrimination that happens as well. And so what was the other question that I can address?
How do you approach the community? Like when you have this study that comes about, and let's say it's for our younger demographic. How do you
Definitely.
approach the community and get them to understand, like, you can trust us at least?
Definitely. So in my time with community-based research, we've always had a community advisory board. So that builds trust with the community. So we select participants who are interested in helping develop and curate the research study, and also have their input and have their voice in the beginning sessions, in the development phase, and also the ending phase. And so they're always part of the research study, and also helping develop that. So that can be one part of addressing that.
Cool beans, thank you.
Of course.
Dwayne, did you have any question? I have a question, but if you have a question,
Oh, no, not that.
Yes, yes.
So I do have another question. So later on, we're going to talk about PrEPTalk, but you had mentioned there are two programs. Would you tell us a little bit about the other kind of study that you have going on?
Definitely. So our PrEPTalk studies for 18 to 29, for Black men who have sex with men, but for the still climbing study, it's for 18 and up. So we primarily will refer them if they screen out, if they're by age at least. And so this study is for Black men who provides a safe space to get support for their racial and sexual identities. And over 8 weeks, they participate in group discussions. So they're going to be in groups and they explore ways to cope with discrimination. And so all they do is they participate in 4 interviews and 3 brief check-ins for about over a year, and they receive up to $310 in gift cards.
Yeah.
And the gift cards are usually sent out at the end of the week.
Oh, great. So it almost sounds like the study is also creating a community with people, right? So everyone's kind of coming together, talking about like barriers they face, but it inadvertently almost feels like you're making its own little sub community too, right?
Definitely. And you're right, because it kind of provides a support group and a supportive network to express these concerns regarding racial and sexual identities that they may have. So definitely coming in together as a group will create community and support.
Question? I have more, and I just don't want to
More
take
questions?
up everyone's. I was like, I have them.
I'm happy to answer too.
So I guess my question is, how do you, for like something like still climbing, how are you able to kind of convince people who might be a little unsure about their own sexuality, kind of like where they are in that journey? How are you able to kind of create that safe space? Because a lot of times with things like studies or something like that, you walk into a room and it feels like everyone is kind of on like a higher plane of where they are in their identity than you sometimes. How do you kind of address that for someone who's like, 18 years old or 24, 25 years old, just kind of came out, don't really know anybody, but just feels unsure? How do you kind of like help them feel comfortable in that? Because we know someone who's been out for, a year, their experience is different than someone who's been out for like 15 years.
Definitely. Definitely. That's a great question. And I kind of think about the structural part of that question of the hiring process. And so you definitely want to hire a peer, primarily the same race, and also who may have the same serostatus if they're HIV positive or HIV negative, in addition to being part of the community. So that may be one way that may help one who may is unsure about their identity. And so addressing that, well, having a good facilitator, obviously hiring a good facilitator that they can connect and relate with. And also, one thing, if they are unsure, part of these research studies, it is voluntary. So they can voluntary to sign up and do the study, and they can also voluntary not complete the study or also answer any questions that they don't want to answer. So everything is voluntary in this research study, and yeah, they can do it to however they feel comfortable.
Great. So I guess the big final question with that is though, where does all this information go? What do we do with it?
Yes. So where does all this information go? So let me try to take a stab at it. So we are funded by the National Institute of Mental Health, and we are sponsored by them. So our principal investigator, Dr. Matt Muchler, and also one of our other PIs, Laura Bogart from the RAND Corporation, and also one of our research assistants from CSU, Cal State University, Dominguez Hills, is going to analyze all this data. So this is a phase 3 of our research study. So this is testing the feasibility and acceptability for a future program to exist to help with PrEP education and support with a main participant and their close friend. So the whole cool thing about this research study is having a support system and walking through the PrEP journey and education and support with a close friend.
Yeah.
Bill, what's the 2 questions again? Because I'm a 2 piece on the
Let's
type of person. So my first question is, what is the desired goal of this study? Like, what is the end all goal for this particular study to go on? So let's look at that first.
Sure. So this is phase 3, like I said. And if this passes, if we find information that going on, we have a randomized control trial. So this is testing the feasibility and acceptability of a study that we can possibly develop. So if we do find something that is feasible and acceptable, such as they have some more support with their friend or just basic some outcomes from the study, then we will move on to move it on to a R01, because this is an R34, which is a grant talk for R34 means we are testing the feasibility and acceptability, and R01 is the big grand scheme randomized control trial. So enrolling more folks, because we, as a focus kind of feasibility acceptability, is for 60 participants and their close friends. So 120 participants. So the main focus is to create a program surrounding around PrEP and talking to their close friends and seeing if this program is feasible and also acceptable for the community, to hopefully launch a full-scale program and hopefully be funded.
So
Yes, for funding.
we
We
love
love
funding.
funding.
Okay.
Yes.
And then my second question, quickly before we go to commercial, is what are like one or two myths that you could debunk for people who have an apprehension for getting involved in a study? Like, what are some things that you know that the community's like, oh, if you get in a study, they're gonna take your liver? Like, what are the top two things that you can
Come on, liver.
debunk and demystify about research studies?
That's a good question. That's a really good
I
question.
know
So
why I asked this.
I know, right? On point. One good question. So something to debunk research. I would say into kind of debunking the stigma of joining a research study, what I would say is to try it, to just try it out and participate, because it is just voluntary, and you can reveal how much information you want, and you can reveal how much information you do not want, and where there's always a consent form. And so the consent form provides that there's a institutional review board that provides the research subjects protection under the law, and all research studies have to be IRB approved, institutional review board approved, and that provides protection for the research subject there, in addition to direct contact numbers for the principal investigator and I as well. And so they're protected. In addition to everything is securely, all the information is secured and destroyed within 5 years in a locked file and password protected. But I know it definitely sounds scary, and I know research, and I know a lot of people may think of clinical trials, right? When you're like taking a liver or taking my labs out or taking my blood out. So luckily, I'm not working on a research study that does that, right? So the research study that I'm focusing on is on the community and helping them through education and sexual health prevention.
So what you're saying is this information isn't going to like Dr. Frankenstein this time.
No,
Not
not
this
this time.
Well,
Yes.
thank you so much. So that is going to be our first little stopping point until we get to our first commercial, or our commercial. When we come back, everyone, we are going to actually have this full real dive into PrEP talk. We've been trying to like pull Bill back from like talking about it, but when we get back, we're going to talk about PrEP talk. So we will see you all soon.
Awesome.
Are you in need of a quick and easy way to know your HIV status? Swab and Chill is a discreet way to learn your status in the comfort of your own home. The process gives you results in 20 minutes. Swab the upper gums, swab the lower gums, and voila! Simply follow the colorful step-by-step instructions located inside the kit. Or call APLA and we can assist you virtually. In addition, all kits include condoms and lube for that penetrative fun. For our trans clients, we have Swab and Chill Plus, a customizable kit for trans-specific needs. And we haven't forgotten about COVID either. All kits include personal protection gear, like face masks, comfortable yet stylish. a personal touch tool for dealing with those germ-infested handles and ATM keypads, wet wipes for those little messes that need cleaning up. Also, keep that summer body protected with Swab and Chill sunscreen. And don't forget about our fanny packs for those quick trips to the store. All this can be yours. Simply call Swab and Chill at 323-329-9713 or email us at swabandchill@apla.org. We would love for you to be part of our Swab and Chill family.
Swab and chill with us.
And we are back. We're having a good old time here, per usual.
Wait, so we know that Dwayne is here, and so when the graphic popped up of me, Ty, and Kai, Dwayne was like, "Well, that's not me," and I said, "Well, luckily we know that not all Black people look alike." So no, that was Ty. Ty's not here. Dwayne is here. So don't think that we made a mistake. You will see Dwayne much more in the future.
You will.
But Ty, we miss you.
Miss
We hope that you're
you.
feeling better.
Yeah. So we are back. Thank you so much for joining us. As you can see, we have the fantastic, the intelligent, the magnanimous. Ooh.
You better use big words.
Magnanimous Bill
Yes.
Lee from PrEPTalk here today. Yes, show him the face, show him the face
Oh.
profile. So before we get into kind of what PrEPTalk is, Bill, can you remind the people at home, the girls at home, the children, what is PrEP?
What is PrEP? So PrEP is known as pre-exposure prophylaxis, a one-day pill that you take every day about the same time to help prevent you from getting HIV, and it's known to be 99% effective in preventing you from getting HIV transmission.
Yay. So
Oh my god.
that's what anyone can be on PrEP here.
Yes.
So now that we're reminded what PrEP is, because if you watch any of our shows, you know what PrEP is. We talk about PrEP all the time because PrEP is important. It's going to end the epidemic.
It could. It could if the girls would just
take it
and drink water, girls. Drink water.
Hydrate and protection. Can you tell us who can be a part of? You mentioned it before, but for PrEPTalk,
yes.
Who are we looking for? Who is able to kind of take advantage of this?
All right. So who is PrEPTalk looking for? So PrEPTalk is looking for Black men who have sex with men who identify as gay or bisexual between the ages of 18 and 29 years old, who's interested in learning about PrEP, who is not currently on PrEP, and learning the information about PrEP with their close friend, and it's going to be virtual, and they can also earn up to $230 for participation.
$230. So you mentioned friend. So tell me about this friend thing that you keep bringing up here.
Definitely. So this is kind of the cool part about PrEPTalk because we all know that having someone in our lives to be a supportive system will benefit us and help us create positive, healthier decisions. And so with this virtual program, we enroll their close friend with them as well. And so it's a main participant and their close friend. And so what we do is there's a randomized control trial. So are you guys familiar with the randomization?
Yes, but why don't you let the people at home know what that is?
All right, for sure. So we have a control group and then we have a program group. So the control group gets up to $150 and all they do is take surveys with their close friend. So they still select a close friend and they get $150 and they do surveys. And so we have to use the control group to compare to the program group. And so the program group is we're trying to enroll 60 participants. So 18 to 29 Black men who have sex with men, living in the Los Angeles County or adjacent, and enrolling their close friend. And so they take 4 sessions and also 4 surveys, and they earn up to $230.
Mm-hmm. So you get a little bit more for doing a little bit more. So do you get to choose if you're in the control or the program group, or is it all assigned?
So that's the beauty of science, and so it's the randomization part
Okay.
of the study. So we do not know, or they do not know, which part of the study they're going to be in until they take the first survey.
Okay. So ultimately, there are kind of two different studies going on in this one study, but everyone is kind of contributing with the same information.
Yes, everyone is still being in the study. Yes.
Cool.
So you mean to tell me I can go get my good Judy? Okay, I can sign up for this study. I
Yes.
can take my ass to Starbucks, order some latte, and get on my phone and answer questions all day, and get
Yeah.
and get a coin via a gift card.
A cute coin.
You already know a cute coin.
Why
It is a cute
okay,
coin.
okay, well look, if I we got a time machine, I'll go back about 2 years so that I can be 20.
I was like, how hard is that 29 cutoff? Because I just turned 29. I just turned 30.
I look like I'm in my late 20s. Why don't I?
Yes.
I have a
Yes,
question though.
of course.
So what if like they want to sign up, but their friend that they want to sign up with is already on PrEP? Now I know that you said that they cannot already be on PrEP. So how does that work? Like how would someone go about that?
Good question, Dwayne. So their close friend can be anything. Not anything, but anything. So, so they can be a male, they can identify as male, female. They can be HIV positive, HIV negative. They can be on PrEP. They cannot be on PrEP. All they have to do is be 18 to 29 and live or work in the Los Angeles County adjacent areas.
I love the live or work.
Yes.
Because people like commute. I mean, I ain't 29, so I can't do the damn study no way. But I'm saying if you are like me and you commute outside of LA, then
Yes.
that's awesome. So I think that's great.
Okay.
What are some of the things that you? What are some like PrEP things that people should not, see? I'm not talking about PrEP as in PrEP. I'm
What
like
are PrEP
preparation.
things?
What are some preparatory things that people can do if they're interested in this study? Like, where can they go to kind of sign up? Where do they go to get a little bit more information?
Yes. So all they can simply do is call the number, and my number is 323-329-9031. Let me repeat. 323-329-9031. And so they can definitely call my number. They can call or text, and we'll definitely give them some more information and screen them. So it's just simple as that. Everyone can just call or text or email us any way they would like. We're
And
all
we'll
open.
post that information too. So it'll be scrolling down right here. Give Bill a call. That's his phone number. And then also we'll post that flyer again too, so that everyone can see all that hard work you did.
Okay. Call them now.
All that good marketing.
Marketing.
Call me now.
Bug me out for your free reading.
Come
Get
on,
your
come
face
on.
now.
323.
We are not appropriating
No.
or making fun of patois language. I actually love patois language.
No, just Miss Cleo.
Miss Cleo.
Miss Cleo.
Yes, she
I was
was-
getting
she's
Miss
no
Cleo
longer
too.
with us.
Really?
That's so
Yeah.
She
Raven.
was also not Jamaican, so
She was Jamaican.
no.
That's a whole story. I knew her personally.
That's a different show.
That's a different show. So you might have answered this. You might have answered this
Read.
earlier, but how long is this study going on for?
Yes.
What's the length of the study?
So the intervention part is about a month, and then we do have a 3-month and 6-month follow-up. So it's just about half a year, 6 months, and the intervention is within about a month or so. It just depends on scheduling. So it's super quick.
And the surveys that the participants have to do they do them in their own time? Is there a time frame that they have to get them done? What are
Yes.
the parameters around that?
So we would definitely work with their schedule, and we will coordinate with the research assistant, Ian from CSU Dominguez Hills, which he would be doing the surveys over the phone. So it's
Ooh.
not complicated. You don't have to
Alright.
come
Don't
inside.
forget to go somewhere.
Just pick up the phone, make sure you're in a private and quiet location so you can answer the questions. So simple as that. Virtual times.
Virtual time. So I have a question for you, because obviously part of the study is you and your friend.
Yes.
So, things happen. Young folks, we're changing friends. Young folks, we're changing friends. We're changing friends. So what happens if halfway through you're still all gung-ho for the study, but your friend says, I can't do this anymore? Does that mean you're
Yes.
no longer eligible for the study?
No. So that's definitely a question that I raised as well when I was learning about this study. I was like, what if their friend just drops out, and
It's just
what if they
flaky.
don't, and what if they flake? One good thing about this program it is short, so about 4 sessions, and they do 3 sessions with their close friend because the first session they pick their close friend. So 3 sessions with their close friend. Hopefully they don't break out or break
Break
their
up.
friendship within 3 sessions, but you
You
never
slept with
know.
my man. I'm not doing this anymore. Forget you.
But
Happen.
they will still be part of the study. We'll just continue with the main participant.
Okay. Okay, so
Yes,
once you're in it, unless you decide that I'm not in it anymore.
correct. You have the consent and the permission and will.
Okay, so I guess for me is some people might be wondering like if this is a study for me, if it's for Black gay men of this age range, why is it okay to bring anybody like a friend? Like why would a 27-year-old straight white woman be an important kind of thing for this kind of study?
Right. So that's why the close friend does not do the first session. So the first session is all about selecting the close friend. And so we do exercises. And so the main specific reason why we do the whole session, the first session to choose a close friend is to find someone who's reliable, who's flexible and has an open schedule, which is a big thing, in addition to being a supportive close friend. So we're going to do exercises to figure out which is the best close friend that would be part of this study, specifically supporting PrEP education and supportive communication around PrEP.
So we're basically kind of what we were saying earlier, we're looking for support, right? We're creating this
Yeah.
community and kind of creating like this whole support group. And this might not be something that you know based off of what you've found in the study already, but do you think that by having the support, we're going to be seeing more people, really gravitate towards PrEP? Is that the goal with this study?
Yeah, I believe that's the goal is to develop these friendships. That's the niche, the specialty, the caveat about this research study is developing those friendships and hopefully with building communication and active listening skills with their close friend to be supportive in their PrEP journey, that we may find some outcomes, some feasibility and acceptability outcomes that show that friendship and support will increase adherence to PrEP or uptake.
Great. I was listening to you. I was like, oh, okay. so, so then So then I guess my question for you, I'm sorry, if anyone has questions at any point, I'm going like full on scholar, like school mode,
Come
like trying
through.
to like, ooh, this is official. For like the data for you that you're kind of looking at for everything, where does this information go then? Is it kind of the same place or is it a little different?
It goes to our funders. It goes to the National Institute of Mental Health, and we report back what we've found. I believe in July we're going to report back what we've done. Because this is phase 3, and so we're going to report back what we've done so far, and so that's where all the data goes, and to see if this outcome has any outcomes.
Bill, has this particular study, in your experience and in your time just working with research studies, has a research study like this ever been done? And if so, do you know what the success of that study was? Like, has it helped to progress, protocols or progress marketing or progress, services and programs that actually enhance PrEP use within the communities that we're serving?
No, because if there was another research study doing this, that wouldn't be creating new science. So that's the beauty of this research is that no one has done this before, and that's what the hard part about research is to figure out a new research study and question and to create new scientific information for PrEP. So there's definitely research studies about friendship and supportive communication with health decisions, but specifically supportive communication and friends surrounding PrEP, I would say no. So this is the beauty of PrEPTalk.
So the participants are really part of a pioneering road for
Look at
getting
that.
PrEP into a space where people are having the conversation, talking about it more regularly, and less apprehensive to get on PrEP. Because I know even with our work here in prevention, like we have a lot of people who, when we ask about PrEP, they're like, yeah, no, I don't want to take that because I heard this, and this. And I'm like, have you been scrolling through Facebook and saw that little banner that's giving
Yes.
the wrong information? Yeah, no.
Yes,
So I think
definitely.
that's amazing that the participants get to feel like you're part of building something, like you're not just a number. Because honestly, I've been approached for research studies all the time. And when I was younger, it was one of the things that I didn't like was I didn't want to feel like a number. Like I didn't want to feel like I'm a lab rat that you're just, milking me for information and then you just, throw me away into the garbage. Like, okay, thank you. We got what we need from you. You're no longer important. So the fact that these participants are part of the groundwork, I think is incredible.
And that's actually a perfect segue into what I wanted to ask. I'm sorry, I call Billy. I'm sorry. What is the driving force for you, like personally, to do this work? Because it's just like, like Daniel just said, like a lot of people don't want to feel like a number. They don't want to feel like, oh, you're just coaching me to, get these numbers, get these results, and then, get me on PrEP, and then just I have to fend for myself. So what is it really that is like, what is the value in this for you?
Definitely. And I definitely do work with integrity and motivate me to continue to do this work in the community. And so facts are facts, right? So one of the facts is 1 in 40 Black men will acquire HIV. So understanding that almost all young Black men will acquire HIV, almost half of the population, is astonishing to me. And another fact is that there's a disproportional rate of suicide among LGBTQIA youth. And so addressing suicide within the LGBTQIA population, in addition to HIV prevention and understanding sexual health. I'm a very sex positive person and also a harm reduction person, and addressing populations that are seen as stigmatized or not valued. And so definitely my driving force is working on the statistics, and also I'm always one to try to help others in my own way, but try to find the root cause of issues and try to help the biggest of problems and try to source the resource, right? To find the source of where you can help. And so a personal note is that I switched from medicine to psychology. And so I was really focused on helping people mentally and behaviors, right? So emotions, thoughts, and behaviors, and helping people with their emotions, thoughts, and behaviors to ultimately help their health and ultimately prevent. I'm a very prevention person, right? So I'm a very thinking ahead, what can you do to prevent this from happening, instead of addressing it in the treatment phase. And so instead of trying to help people in the phase of prevention, and all you can do that, I believe, in my efforts is through psychology and mental health, and also through education and awareness and positive perspectives against stigma, against people who are deemed not normal within society. So yeah, that's a whole lot. You can take a breather.
I was like, let him talk. You get it. You
I
tell
was
it.
like, go for
Speak
it.
your truth.
Run it down for us.
But that
So-
definitely, those two statistics definitely is a driving force into the work that I do and the specific research that I do. So yeah, that's what I do.
Well, thank you for doing what you do. I think everyone here at APLA, we're always in awe, I think, of everything that's going on here. We're kind of coming to the end of the show, so I want to give you another moment just to remind people who you are, what you work for, and who you're looking for.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. My name is Bill Lee from the PrEPTalk Research Study here at APLA Health, and we're looking for 18 to 29-year-old men who are Black and who also has sex with men, and they're interested in learning about PrEP, who is not currently on PrEP, and learning it with their close friend. And you can earn up to $230 in gift cards for participating virtually. So please let me know. You can contact me at 323-329-9031 or email me or DM me on Instagram or Facebook.
Come on, Jim.
Thank
And
you.
then you can also find their social media is APLA Health _. It's that little line underneath, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
CVI.
Yes.
Don't get mad at me. I don't even know what a USB cord is. So yes, you find them on Instagram. If you can't, go to Healthy Him. We partner with them all the time. You'll find us there. You'll find them there. Bill, thank you so much again for being here. And on short notice, there's a lot going on, but Bill is a trooper and he has been amazing and works really, really close to us. I'm sure you all will see him again soon, but definitely give a call. Don't forget about all the other programs that we have here at APLA Health. So we have our Trans Connections program, our Healthy Him, our Swab and Chill commercial. Let you know we have the Swab and Chill test because we need to get tested. And wear your mask. Wear your mask, everyone. So that's all I have to say. Anyone else? Final words?
Also follows the social, the networks at the networks.apla on Instagram. Okay, look out for us because we are also new on the scene, but we're coming for all of the girls. All of the girls. What?
Well, Swab and Chill doesn't mind sharing the crowns, but I also want to give a shout out to Party Wise and Project Impact, some of our
Yes.
programs here in regards to substance use for those who men who have sex with men and trans women who use meth. Our Party Wise program is incredible. So if you need help, prevention services, if you need harm reduction services in that arena, then you can reach out to our Party Wise program. And again, all of this information you can find where aplahealth.org, or you can go to the-link.la because we're in Los Angeles.
So all that information. And if you don't know kind of like, I want services, but I don't know what I qualify for, I don't know what I need, give us a call. We'll point you in the right direction. And if you are HIV positive, looking for kind of getting re-engaged into medical care, give me a call. I'll help you.
Or text us.
Message us, DM. We'll just reach out and we'll catch you. Reach out your hand and we'll
reach out and touch. The end of this show.
Yes.
So
Come on.
So with
Yes.
that, again, thank you so much for our special guest, Bill Lee from PrEPTalk. Thank you to my wonderful host. Thank you to Kwame in the background,
Yes.
giving us graphics, giving us slides and all of that. And everyone have a wonderful Tuesday. We will see you next week for Age Like Fine Wine with our HIV High program.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.